Hello, this is Nishay from NishaySnow.com. Hello and welcome. Today I'm just jumping in. I only have a few snippets of me doing some wood burning on this cut piece of wood, and so I just wanted to share with you guys my technique and why I created this. So, since the first part is really missing, let me tell you what I did. So, I bought this piece of wood, I believe, from Michael's, and it's kind of like that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a slice of a tree or something. And I sketched out my design onto the wood in pencil really lightly so then I could go over it with a wood burning tool, which is unusual because normally I don't do any sketches. I just go in, and if I mess up, I just figure out how to like work around it. But this time I decided to actually sketch it out. So if you're looking to do this type of project, that's probably the smartest way to go so you don't end up having to fix the project or throwing a piece of wood away. And this is just like a wood burning tool also that I got from Michael's. Nothing special. I think it might have cost me 20 bucks. If I find the specific tool, I'll make sure to include it in the notes below. But you wait a few minutes before, to let it heat up. And of course, once it heats up, do not touch the metal part. It will burn you. You could feel the heat actually coming off of it as you're working. So be really, really careful. And I wouldn't let small children do this. So so I outlined it in pencil, and then after I went over it once with the tool, then now I'm just going over it to give it a thicker kind of a line weight. And in order to do that, it's like the rules of hand lettering. So the downstroke is what you want to be a little bit thicker. So you just imagine yourself writing the word, whatever word you decide to put on your piece of wood, and then where you would naturally go down with your pen is where you're going to make the line a little bit thicker just to give it some character. And so that's like the easiest technique with hand lettering. And I'm not a hand letterer, so you don't have to be like a fancy pantsy hand letterer to do this. If you do, even better because it'll come out amazing. But really, you just need to just write really neat and then just follow the rules of hand lettering, and it comes out really nice. Now, of course, this is sped up. So probably, I want to say this piece maybe took me 20 minutes-ish to do. The trick with it is not to go too fast. If you go too fast, it's not going to come out dark. It's going to come out really light. So even though it looks like I'm doing this fast now, in actuality, it's a little bit slower just to allow the wood to really burn so I don't have too many light pieces or, light spaces. And you're going to see that in a few minutes because right now, I'm kind of rushing as I do like the tail here. And then I'm going to end up having to go back over it just to make it dark like the other parts. And you might want it lighter, but know that if you want it darker, you have to make sure you slow down a little bit, but not too much, because if you slow down too much, you'll actually like burn the wood in like weird places. So the key is to make sure that like you have, I guess, even pressure, and that just takes practice. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you're applying this heat tool, and to not do it too fast in order to make sure that it burns dark enough. And so now here, I'm just kind of like making up stuff because as you see, I don't have I don't have any more pencil marks, so I'm just like, what else can I do? And so I'm just doing some random things to add like a little some little special touches. And I'm just going over it just to make sure it's how I want it to look and know that it's not going to be perfect. That's the thing about wood burning by hand. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Like, if you want something perfect, like this is not for you. You have to be be very comfortable with the imperfections. Okay, so I ended up drawing some leaves, and now I'm just going over like where I want the lines to be, where the lines of the leaves are, just to give it a little bit more detail. And then I decided to just use the tip of the heating gun just to give it just a little detail. So you can really have fun with this. It's like no right or wrong way to do it. And so let me explain why I created this. So um, I had a friend, and sometimes every once in a while I have to tell her, like, hey, just breathe. Everything is going to be okay. And so I just decided to create this for her. It's actually a two-sided piece. On this side, I did the words breathe. And on the other side, I'm going to glue some pieces of moss, which you'll see in a second. And I just wanted her to have something to keep on her desk. And so anytime she gets all worked up, she can just look at this and just remember to breathe. So now I'm just adding like a little shading to the leaves just to give it a little bit of character. Didn't have to have it, but I'm just really having fun with it now. And so, just have fun with this, because you can always go over it and clean it up and draw something over it if you really wanted to. And once you've done it, it's really cool to the touch. Okay, so I didn't get to record myself gluing the moss on there, but you could look at some of my other moss art products to see how I do it with the glue gun. But after I glue the moss onto the wood with just the glue gun, nothing else, I use an air can just to get all the loose pieces off, because with moss, there's like loose pieces everywhere. And so you don't want it to be shedding too much on somebody's desk or wall, wherever they're going to put your piece of art. So the air can just helps me get rid of the most of the loose pieces. And there we have it. Breathe on one side and moss art on the other. And so depending how she feels, she can just twist it around. I made it so it can like lean against a wall. And so depending on how you feel, you can just turn it. I hope this inspires you to create something cool for your friends. Take care. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.